What's going on, you guys? Tyler, Wandering Therapist. I'm up here in this beautiful spot, waiting for the sunrise to come up right there. Hasn't quite come up yet, but just soak in the beauty of this for just a second. The light's starting to come up, hitting the mountains behind me. It's moments like these where I just kind of stand in awe of the beauty and power of God's creations. And what a gift. What a gift it is just to be alive today. Taking a breath, soaking in the scenery. And I hope that if you're watching this, there's something in your life that you can feel the same about right now, something to be grateful for, and realize what a miracle it is that we're alive. So I was hiking up here and I was just thinking about like things that make a happy life. And one of the thoughts that came to me is something that my dad taught me, and he didn't really teach it to me verbally. He taught it to me through example. And it's actually paid off in my life in spades as a result of just watching him and following his example. And I've been considering this idea that we all find our way through life in ways that we need to meet our needs, to survive, to get what we think is most important for us. And some people learn to do it in certain ways and other people learn to do it in other ways. You know, the primary way that most people have to survive in life is through financial means and through a currency of, you know, at least making enough money to purchase what the necessities of life are. And I think that's really, really important. But there's another currency that my dad was really good at and that he had a lot of, and it was social currency. And he used to drill into me and my brothers all the time. You know, if you've ever been in Boy Scouts, if you ever go camping or something, they tell you to, when you're packing up, they always tell you a certain line. And that line is, leave the place better than you found it. In essence, it means pick up your trash, kick out the fire, make it look like you were never there before, practice no trace camping, and maybe even leave a stack of firewood for the next guy, or do something that's a little bit better than where you found it. And I've found that to produce results in my life in a couple of different ways when I've been able to master that. I'm not always perfect at it, but in a couple of different ways. The first one is that mantra actually just emotionally and mentally produces its own outcome. You know, we look at something called the poverty mindset, and the poverty mindset is where people get so dependent on wherever, you know, the government is producing for them, that they're the ones that are actually the most entitled, and they always want more and they never get enough, and they're always miserable and they always stay the victim, and they even bite the hand that feeds them. I found that to be the case even in my own practice. There are times when I try to help people out, and the people that take the most are the ones that walk away the least satisfied. Now, that could be something about the quality of the therapy that I give them. That's totally possible. Maybe I'm not the right fit, or maybe I don't have the right skills, or maybe I just suck as a therapist. But the ones who get the most for free are the ones that feel like they never had enough. And they end up consuming everything around them. They consume not only their resources, but they consume their relationships. And then when it comes time for important things, they don't have the currency relationally or the support that they need, and then they continue to stay miserable. And my dad is the opposite of that. My dad worked 3 jobs to provide food for us, put food on the table, make sure our needs were taken care of and that we were able to play sports. And then he'd come home, and in between his jobs, he'd come home, and without saying anything, he'd grab 1 or 2 or all 3 of us as boys, and he'd say, hey, we got to go run an errand. And then he'd run down the street with us and have us help like fix the old lady sprinkling system whose husband had just died earlier that year. Or we would go shovel walks in the wintertime, and or he would, you know, find someone who was needing help with their lawn care, and we'd go help with their lawn care for the day, or put someone's roof on, or it was always some act of service. And he was the kind of guy who was an extrovert, and I'm not much of an extrovert, but he loved to go to the social parties and things, neighborhood things. He was always the one that threw the block party where you get the cones and block it off and pull the grills out in the road and have the whole neighborhood come over and visit and chat. And it used to kind of drive me crazy all through growing up. never realizing that he was teaching me something that was extremely valuable. And it kind of came to fruition when I got married. And when we got married at our reception, we had over 1,000 people show up to come through the line and congratulate us on our marriage. And the vast majority of the people that showed up weren't there for me or my wife. They were there because of my dad and my mom, because they wanted to come and show support for all of the ways that my parents had showed up for them over the years. And it dawned on me that my parents in that moment might have been the richest people in the world, because they understood that when you leave the place better than when you found it, people come back in tenfold in wanting to support you and care for you, because you've spoken the language of connection. You've spoken the language of service. You've spoken the language of the heart. And that is a powerful binding language. And so my thought for you today is to consider, are you a taker? Are you the one who shows up to see what's in it for you? Do you go to a family or community event and be the first person in line to take the biggest portions of food and then leave none for the people behind you? Or are you someone who's actually cultivating relationships by offering yourself and your goodness, by looking around for what might be needed in the lives of other people, or in taking better care of the places that you go to, and ask yourself if that might be contributing to your happiness or misery? So hopefully that's helpful for you guys today. Hope you guys have a great day. I'll talk to you later.
Thank you so much for being here with me. If you found this to be valuable for you, please hit the like and subscribe button. If you're facing particular struggles that you need help with or roadblocks that you're running into, please submit a question. I'd be happy to answer it for you.